What's up, everybody? How's it going?
What's up? Pretty good.
Welcome to another episode of Take a Break with Luke and Dutton. Well, it's Luke and Dutton and Todd, and tonight we got Michael. Michael Oeur is joining us tonight. He's got a Kickstarter going on. You look right below us, right there. This guy
right here.
Yep. Yeah, Michael, it's good to see you. I was just mentioning that it's hard for me to believe that we have not been friends on Facebook or social media with kind of our very similar views on things.
Yeah, it's a big world, huh?
Yeah, big world. We both love comic books. We both love love this great country. We love a lot of very similar things. And so freedom. We love it all. And Michael is a veteran of Michael, just go ahead and tell us just a little bit more about you so that some of our people watching might be able to get to know who you are a little bit.
Okay, so my name's Michael, and I got into comics when Image Comics launched, and I was introduced to a comic with an X-Men comic in middle school by a friend, and that was it. And then Image Comics came along, and my dream ever since was to work in the industry and to maybe get my book published through Image Comics. So it's been a long trip, a long journey, and along the way I did join the military and went overseas, and I was deployed to Afghanistan, and saw a lot of the world and how things work. But now I'm back home. I came back in 2013, and my dream is still there, and I still want to publish comics. I love comics. I love the craft, storytelling and whatnot. And it's like an addiction, you just can't get rid of it.
It really is, right? I was telling someone the other day, they're like, they're a fantastic artist, and they live here in Florida with us, and they worked for Disney. And he's like, man, I just feel like getting into Disney is easier than getting into comics. And I said, brother, comics will break your heart.
Yeah.
I like Wolverine here. He says, hi, my name is Michael, and I like comics. It is.
I'm from Dutton, and I don't know what to do with my hands.
Okay.
Yeah. So we'll pop in with the comments there, but so you're working on a comic project, and the Four Bearded Men. This is if you're a true man.
It's the season. Yeah, it's the season.
Yeah.
You know what? I think Michael's mustache is better than mine.
It's all over the place, man, but I appreciate it.
Well, I mean, yours gives you like that wise, like Shifu look, and I'm like, oh. Mine just looks like that guy's a degenerate who drinks beer.
Yeah, so we got several people in the chat. We got several people in the chat today. Let us know you're there. We'll try to keep up with you guys as best we can. I've already put in there the Kickstarter link for Michael's project. But Michael, I just want to go ahead and have you tell us just a little bit about what it is you're working on, and then we're going to get into some conversation that has been
trending on Twitter today.
Yeah, it's trending today. So we're going to be trending with everyone, and hopefully we get and chat. Feel free to let us know what you think when we start talking about that stuff. But go ahead, Michael, tell us about it, and Dutton, go ahead and share your screen. I'll pop that up there for us.
Okay, sounds good. So late 2019, I started a Facebook group called Excited Studios, and basically we would make one-page comics together. No one would get paid. It's voluntary. So if you wanted to make comics, you had your opportunity. And that grew into the anthology that you're looking at right now on Kickstarter. So we have over 100 people in the group and about 15 to 20 active. And a lot of them are passionate about the craft. And, they've all grown up as fans. And now I believe that, they're ready to share their own stories. And that's where we're at. So the Excited #1 anthology is a digital collection of short stories, and it's 148 pages, over 15 creators. Where we're sharing our story, we're sharing our dreams, our characters that we develop, the world, and pretty much everything that we've known, which is comics. The stories we've grown up with. The characters, the artists, and the industry in general, where we're trying to give back, but also we want to be involved at a different level as creators.
Dude,
Go ahead.
This looks really cool. I want to say this looks really so. This is so I'm getting this right. This is a bunch of one-page single stories. Is that what it is?
Actually, no. The group started by producing one-page comics featuring known existing characters, and then we decided that we would want to share our own properties, and that's how the anthology came together. And the anthology consists of stories that are anywhere from 2 to 3 to 10 pages long.
Okay. All right. So, Dustin, let's go ahead and go back up there to the top. Justin, I always mix your first name and your last name up together. Dutton. I always want to say Justin or I want to say Dutton, and then I wind up saying Dustin. Isn't that funny? So we've got 8 backers. So we've got 8 backers, $157 you've raised so far on a $1,000 goal, but you've got 54 days left to do this. And so,
check this out though. Check this out, right? I just want to boom. What is this? Right? You can get $2 for 48 pages of the digital.
Right.
You can get 6 for 96 pages of the digital. You can get 10 for 148 pages of the digital.
Exactly.
So is this all in digital? Do you have any physical copies of this that you're doing?
At the moment, this campaign, with this campaign, you get the digital copy, which is 140. Excuse me, 148 pages. But there are options on there for you to get an actual printed product, which are the ash cans. And what sets this campaign apart? It's the first time these ash cans are hand assembled. So each one is custom for each supporter.
Oh, nice.
And so we're trying to give it that collectability aspect, It's not just another printed comic book.
And,
that real
you
underground
got
indie
55
book.
hours left to get a t-shirt?
Yeah, the t-shirt's on there, but I don't know, I might extend that.
Might have to.
Yeah, it's coming up.
That's cool. So you've got a 40-some minute video, right? A 40-second video. I mean, a 40-minute.
Right.
Wow.
40 seconds.
That'd be nuts.
That'd be a movie.
Dutton, go ahead and play that for me. I'm have to have Dutton do this because I couldn't download the video this week. So
because somebody
let's go ahead and
doesn't
watch
use
this.
Chrome.
I don't use Chrome. Dude, okay, so here's the deal. Some of that art in there looked absolutely tremendous, by the way. It looked really good. And so I kind of dig this concept,
This right
what you're doing here.
I really like this art. And then there was
took
2
you
that
away.
really... you took me away?
Yeah, there you are. You're back.
Okay. Well. I really love this one.
Yeah, that's Richard right there. He's from
This
LA.
one looks pretty dope.
Yeah, I like that one a lot.
And where is it? Right here. This right here is the
That looks
shot.
pretty good too. Yeah.
Appreciate it.
So I'm gonna remove you again. So so you started this group and you started making comic books, just kind of people just learning how to do it, basically.
Actually, a lot of our members, they've been comic book fans for over 20, 30 years, and they've done their share of creating. The thing is, they've never been able to get their book out there. So they're not new; they've just haven't been discovered.
Okay, so they've been doing it for a while, but no one knows who they are yet. Okay, so I think this is a great opportunity for people to grab a hold of this. This, it's a PDF. I mean, come on, it doesn't take much to get involved with it, to pick it up and to maybe discover some new great creator or some great writer that maybe you've not heard of before. So
at 148 pages for $10, it's a good deal. And you're supporting the indie community. I think it's worth the cause.
Yeah, I mean, come on, people. I mean, $10 towards someone's dream. I mean, that's a no-brainer kind of investment. It's somebody's dream here, to have their comic in somebody else's hand and let somebody else enjoy it. I think it's, I think it's really cool what you're doing, Michael. I really appreciate it.
Thank you. And a lot of our creators are passionate about the craft and they love what they're doing. And 90% of the book is complete. So, nice. I mean, we're putting a lot of work and sweat and a lot of our own funds in it. So we want to share the story in the world with, the characters with the world. And I think it's going to be worth the $10.
Are these guys getting out there and doing something like what you're doing, trying to get on the different shows and make the rounds?
I'm not sure about that, but they are promoting some of their own work. So hopefully they're promoting the Kickstarter also. But I'm not sure.
You tell them get with it.
Yeah.
That's the trick. It's really just all about that promotion and stuff. And getting that going.
Exactly.
Yeah. We're going to take a couple more comments here. We're going to show what people are saying here. So, we have the Four Bearded Men. Then Danny was on last week. Sup, duders? Nice to see you. Danny owns a comic book shop. He doesn't own a comic book shop. He manages a particular section of comic book shop in Orlando, Florida. Does a great job of that as well. Ichthus is here. Yes, I did cut my hair a couple of weeks ago. Actually, it was I had this real nice skin fade going on, but it's most of it's grown back already. My hair grows very quickly. Matt's in there. Says sup, Matt. Nice to see you tonight. Then we've got old Todd here. He's definitely doing all the hails. Everyone, hail chat. A lot of people say like there's best chat and things like that. I think that our chat is the best chat, but that's just me. I'm biased. So Matt says, "Hey, what's up?" Wolverine, hey, Todd's Truth Band. Yep. Supervillain Dutton in the panel. Yeah, let's check out that. Let's just check out that supervillain stash for a moment. Look at that. There we go. It is looking nice, brother.
Thank you. I'm afraid, like one day, I'm gonna when I'm shaving like the side stuff, I'm gonna clip it, and then people will be like, "Oh, well." He shaved his mustache. I'm not going to watch the stream now.
Yeah. Hey, Phoenix Animation got his books today. Yeah, I've been shipping out books last week and this week. Have the rest of the book shipped out this week, man. Hybrids: The Killing Field Part 1 is going out. It is pretty exciting. We've got the sign up now for The Killing Field Part 2. And so, Phoenix, make sure to drop the link to your show tonight in the chat, and we'll make sure to pop that up on the screen and invite people over to check that out tonight, okay? And then the Historical Fencing Guild, which is Nick, my partner in crime, making the RPG. This looks like an amazing project, and Luke, great t-shirt. Yeah, I got the Sermonator t-shirt on tonight. So fun stuff. And then Fitzfactor says, hello. Nice to see you tonight. Hail everyone! It is great it's great to do the show, isn't it? This is fun.
Yeah.
It's a fun time to take a break and just kind of chill out. So I was wondering what we're going to talk about tonight. That thing where you pop the drink and you sip the tea. So I was looking around, like going to the different comic news websites looking for something to talk about, and then the universe just handed me something. And Dutton was like, Luke, we should talk about the Red Skull Jordon Peterson situation. And I said, you know what? We should definitely talk about the Red Skull Jordon Peterson situation. So you got your screen shared, right?
Give me 1 second. Yes. More or less, I got some pictures pulled up on the Twitter.
Yeah, okay.
Everyone's complaining at.
Yeah. Don't shave it. Oh, Ichthus is saying don't shave off that mustache, man.
Man, honestly, the mustache and the hat, I think, are like my brand logos.
We got Frog G in the chat. Hail, Frog G. What's up? Okay, so I'm just going to say this. I kind of feel like the newest comic book trope is finding a conservative and vilifying them, like kind of copying a villain off of them. That's kind of what I feel is going on. So for those who don't know what happened, there's this guy named Jordon Peterson. And Jordon Peterson is a YouTuber and he writes books and things like that, but he's a Canadian and a conservative. And so he's kind of a conservative voice. And some of you may know who he is. If you know who he is, pop in the chat, let us know. I've heard of him, but I'm not like a regular watcher. I'm not like, I'm not all about like.
I've seen some of his videos. He, because he's also a psychiatrist, or a sociologist of a
sociologist, I think. Yes,
yeah, sociologist.
He's one of those
things. And he's got like some really great videos. And a lot of his books are like mostly just helping young men. Like his major thing is clean your room. But if you read, this week's Captain America, you would think it's cleanse the nation.
Yeah. So let's get a little bit more about who Jordon Peterson is. This guy he speaks to young men. He believes in chivalry. He believes in masculinity. He is a supporter of those things. Yeah, taking responsibility, being the protector and the provider of your home and those kind of things. And so he kind of talks to those things. One of his big things is get up and make your bed. He thinks that there's kind of this. There could be this argument that society has taken a downfall since people don't make their bed. Because people don't get up and take that responsibility. I just saw somewhere the other day where someone was talking, when people don't get dressed up to go, they don't get dressed to go out anymore. They wear the pajamas in the public and things like that. And so that could be kind of kind of contribute to kind of the way things are. And Fitzfactor says he's a professor of psychology at the University of Toronto. Thank you.
Boom. Thank you.
Psychology at the University of Toronto. So thank you for clearing that up. And he has a PhD in clinical psychology. So this guy's a smart guy. And so, obviously he's going to have some input on that. And so he does these videos. He wrote this book called 12 Rules to Life. And it has kind of all this stuff. But here's the problem. We have a writer for Captain America who decided to parody, if you can call him that, right? Todd's truth. And Todd's about to speak his truth tonight, I think.
And it's not even like a clever hidden parody. It's very on the nose.
It is. It's
because you have the 12 rules of life, and I don't know if my screen is shared. But there's an artwork. Boom, you have 10 rules to live for live. So it's 10 instead of 12. Chaos and order, something he talks about. The whole again, Jordon Peterson talks a lot about masculinity and men should be more masculine. And then you have something right here of the feminist trap.
Go ahead.
But it's the next page.
Zoom in on that if you can. I was gonna have you zoom in on that. And kind of show some of it. How much I can zoom in because I didn't save these pages because I did not do this soon enough. It won't let me do it.
Oh, it's Twitter. It won't let you zoom.
Yeah,
right, so here
that's lame.
You have to steal the picture, download it, and then do it.
I can do that. No, I can't because then it'll reveal artwork I'm not ready to show.
Hold on. I got you, brother.
All right, man. But, it's easily Jordon Peterson because the next page, you even have someone drawn like the man right here. And he even talks about, sacrifice, which one of Jordon Peterson's quotes is, what's your sacrifice? Because in life, everyone has to make choices. You have to make sacrifices. It's if you don't make the sacrifice, life will choose what you have to sacrifice for you.
Okay. Yeah. So in case you're wondering, we're going to be on this website called cbr.com or comicbookresources.com.
Yeah, boom. Cool.
And so this is a great resource. And so this article is written by Brian Cronin. I do encourage you to go to cbr.com and check out the article yourself so that you can support that particular website and let them get the clicks that they need. And so that's what I would do there. If you could, but here, so we'll just kind of go through it. It's basically what they did. You can see some of this stuff. Red Skull, Red Skull does his 10 rules. Let me just zoom in on that. 10 rules for life, chaos, order, and kind of some of these various different things. And so it gets down in here where you can. Here's a really good shot of this where it's not even that thinly veiled,
No, because if you actually scroll down right there, his best-selling book is called scroll back up, The 12 Wars of Life: The Antidote to Chaos.
Yeah. And yes, yeah. So it's like
heavy-handed.
It's kind of heavy-handed there. And so today he was like, he said, "What the hell?" So a contributor to the Atlantic, like Ta-Nehisi Coates, was moving on to comics. Now, what this person didn't realize is that Ta-Nehisi Coates has been doing comics for a little while. But prior to that, I don't know that he ever did any comics. Let's be clear, I don't know this. I don't know Ta-Nehisi.
Oh, I do.
I'm not, I'm familiar with his writing, and so I can come up with an understanding of maybe what his philosophy is based off of his writing, but I don't know anything else about him in that sense. But he also, here's another good clip where you've got this guy who, they're talking back and forth with Captain America, and says, yeah, he did. So Captain America says this: "It's all the same for all of them, young men, weak, looking for purpose. I found the flag and you found the badge. They found the skull." He tells them what they've always longed to hear, that they are secretly great, that the whole world is against them, that if they're truly men, they'll fight back. And bingo, that's their purpose. That's what they live for, and that's what they'll die for. It sounds great, that's like, it's very impassioned, but what we're doing here, let's not pull any punches. What's happening here is this writer has taken a very positive conservative role model and vilified him in a pro-American book.
Yeah. I mean,
I'm speechless.
Especially
be
when
the writer.
The very next thing is, again, they directly show a dude designed and dressed just like Jordon Peterson.
Yeah, there is a panel in which that happens. Let's see if we can. Okay, I'm not finding it here.
I know, Bounding into Comics had it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But
which, you know what though? Like, here's the other thing that gets me, right? Is just looking back on the past of Red Skull, right? He created the Cosmic Cube. A weapon to change reality so he could be on top. He saved Bucky so he could turn him into the Winter Soldier to be a Hydra assassin.
yeah,
And also be the ultimate brainwash foil of, I twisted your best friend, Captain America. And the last thing was was it 2018-ish? Was Secret Empire, where he made a Hydra Captain America and was like, I have a secret army, I'm taking over. The Hydra Cap, overthrew him, but it just feels like, all right, everything is grand scale takeover, and Cosmic Cube shortcut. I feel like an internet blog thing is man, you really didn't have any other. What were you just kind of throwing things?
I just want to pull out here what Red Skull says. Okay, now keep in mind that Jordon Peterson, he really talks a lot about masculinity and how and how men should be the protectors and the providers for their homes, and he really encourages young men to kind of get back kind of into those more traditional roles. And to be kind of what I was raised to be, like what the generation that fought against the Nazis, the actual generation that fought against the Nazis, what they would have taught. Listen to what Red Skull says. So what has happened to the men of the world is truly one of the great tragedies of our time. Once the American man was a conqueror, now he is but a caretaker. And a caretaker of what? He stands for some amorphous dream, a dream of nothing, right? And so it sounds like he's trying to get Red Skull to echo kind of this this idea about, and for me, what it feels like is like it's another attack on what they call toxic masculinity. And I kind of feel like that word toxic masculinity has gotten lumped up into a whole bunch of stuff lately, that basically if you're masculine in any sense, you must be toxic. But that's kind of the sense that I kind of get from this. And so let's be clear here. This feels like activism.
Yeah, this is
Now you're beginning to understand.
100% of, they're like Stan Lee himself said he had no problem writing social issues, but they're always in the background of the story. They were like always a subplot.
Yeah.
Right? It was story first, characters first, and if he could, because real world, real reality, he's not gonna pretend like things aren't existing outside of the comics, right? But there are always subplots. This is not a subplot. This is the
plot. So this is Red Skull, one of the most terrible villains in Captain America's history. We're talking about this is a Nazi, a true Nazi, who wanted to kill more than just Jews, okay? Who wanted to do more than just annihilate one kind of people, but all kind of people. This is a terrible, terrible guy. And his line is, "I offer you the sword of manhood." He's taking what is... It's almost like, I don't want my son to read this because I think he's going to look at this and he's going to like, oh, well, I can't be being a man is bad. Being masculine is negative. I mean, it really pulls into that whole sense that's what it is. Now, I'm not 100% certain that that's what Coates intended to do, but it just seems like activism to me. It seems like propaganda. And maybe I'm wrong, but let's hear from everybody else on this.
No, you're right on the money.
What's your thoughts, Michael?
Nahisi Coates is a talentless piece of garbage. All he's ever done is be an activist. He was never a writer, never had any writing abilities. That's how he got, but they hired him for Marvel. And now they hired him to do the new DC Superman movie. Yeah, he has no writing credentials. He has no writing abilities. Multiple people have called him a talentless. He's a fascist. Is what he is. He's a racist and a fascist. That's why he's doing this, because he wants to destroy the U.S. and he said it. His goal as an activist is to bring down the U.S. government. Is to bring down the U.S. Wow. And he hates white people, and he said that too.
I mean,
I like how, the thing is he complained that the ideology is linked to a horrible villain. And it's wouldn't you be upset if you're being used to it's a horrible parody of Jordon Peterson. It really is. And it's upsetting.
Well, that's why.
And here's the thing. I obviously I'm a pastor. I'm a conservative man. But I don't even like vilifying like real people that are on the far left of things from me. I mean, there's enough villains out there. There's enough things to make a villain out there that you don't have to try to take somebody who just maybe thinks or leans a different way politically than you to make them a bad guy.
I want to get Michael, what's your thoughts on this?
You know what? I'm not familiar with the situation, but from my my background in marketing, this could be a ploy to get publicity. you get in the head, you offend some people, you make some comments, and you get in the headlines, and you make money, or you try to use mainstream media to help push your sales. That I don't know this writer, so I mean, I don't have a lot of input in that matter. But it seems like if you attack somebody that with a fan base, hopefully you'll get in the news.
See, that's actually a pretty good. Ooh,
Yeah.
he didn't. What Varian Grant just like
Oh, boy,
like you
Varian.
don't want your like diabolical villain making like wanting to make sense, but
Yeah, it's like I'm reading Red Skull's speech here, and I'm thinking, dang, he's making some compelling argument, which should be a good thing for a writer. But
like if it was like if Cap was saying this, it makes a little bit more sense on good speech. But I do like what Michael was going for with it. It almost feels like instead of trying to sell comics on like merit of just a really good story, can we make the comic feel like a BuzzFeed headline where
Exactly.
like a page or two can go viral, which up until like maybe the last hour or two was all Twitter was talking about today. Every time I looked, it was like Red Skull, Red Skull, Red Skull, talking about this. So I don't know
let's
how
look at
that
what
translates
happened
to
this week.
sales, but and at
But
least
let's
put some eyeballs.
Yeah, let's also look at what happened this last week. So this little Nas X, whatever, I don't know. The only thing I know is he did is that Old Town Road or Hometown Road or whatever, and it was a terrible song. I think anytime you team up with Billy Ray Cyrus, you've already sealed your fate as like this is just going to be a novelty. So
yeah, you're done. You're done.
Yeah, so there's this song he did, right? But he did this other song where apparently he twerks on the devil and all of this stuff. And, he had the whole controversy with Nike and everything. And basically he said he wanted to make a song and a video to offend Christians who hate homosexuals. So first off, I'm a Christian. I don't hate homosexuals. I'm friends with several. I don't know any Christians who hate homosexuals. Maybe I'm not going to say that there are none out there, but I don't personally know any, and I know a lot of Christians. And second, I don't care two hoots who Lil Nas. I don't care. He's not relevant in my world, but apparently he's gotten tons of views and publicity off of making this statement. So the question could be: are people doing things like that just to get in the news cycle so that people will go? And I know people that don't buy Captain America that went and bought Captain America just so they could do a live stream about it. Rest assured, I did not buy Captain America for tonight. Until they start writing a better Cap, I'm not going to buy it.
I actually have.
That's never going to happen.
The first story arc. I did buy the first story arc of Coates because before him was Mark Waid, where he did the whole going to, which is very funny because Wade's like run was very short, but it was essentially the better. I'll say better, but we don't quite know. But the LGBT Captain America story of Captain America going like across America, doing good, and then seeing like others he's inspired, which that's why I was like, the LGBT thing that they advertised maybe a month or two ago now was very perplexing because I'm like, y'all did this story like 2 years ago, and then Coates took over, which Mark Waid, like him, hate him, he is a good writer, and that was actually a pretty good Captain America run he did. Coates then took it, and I was like, all right, so Cap's very slow, it's very boring, so I dropped it. But I tried. I gave it like 3 issues. If you can't hook me in 3 issues,
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Boom. He's done like 30 issues.
Yeah, so Historical Fencing Guild actually says something that would make sense were it not for the context of the rest of the book. But it says, from in-universe, could it be read as Red Skull is twisting the positive masculine language to do horrible things? Evil often takes what could be a positive and use it negatively. And I would say in most cases, that might be the case, that might be the vibe. But given Coates' history with writing, given his SJW type status, and given the response that we just read from Cap earlier, it makes it sound very clear that that's not what is happening. Maybe I'm reading that wrong, and someone that has read it might know better, and maybe they can help me with that. But Nick, it feels a little bit like they're just straight out coming out after kind of this, especially with using Jordon Peterson as the parody for Red Skull's motivation.
I will say it's not like the first time that they've attacked conservatives. If you could share my screen real quick, because this was like a comic in like 2016, Moon Knight. Let me know if you can see it or not.
It's on. Yeah, it's up there.
All right, cool. Doug Ernst right here. He has an amazing comic, and he's a conservative writer of like the Washington Times. But the writer of Moon Knight did something like, "Oh, if you don't like my comics, you don't like my politics, you can feast on my butt." But he didn't say butt. And Doug Ernst, did like YouTube videos, like many kind of do, complaining about like the unprofessionalism. So the writer then made a character who was a Nazi and named him after Ernst. And then had Moon Knight basically beat him half to death.
Beat him up, yeah. So that's why I said it's kind of like at the beginning I called it kind of a trope. It kind of seems to be one of those tropes now that people are using, that they would take a conservative and vilify them, make them their villain in their comic. So, I mean, is that something that you think is a trend that's going to continue, or how do you feel about that, guys?
Of course it is, because that's all talentless trash does.
Yeah. Well, that just echoes Matt.
SJW, that's all they do, because they have no talent, so they've got to vilify who they think are their enemies. But if you come back after them, then they play the victim of, "Oh my gosh, you attacked me."
Michael,
and that's
what's
exactly
your thoughts?
what they're doing.
Michael, do you have any thoughts? Oh, you're muted, brother.
Oh.
Sorry about that. When you're hey, thank you. When you're making comics, the goal is either to sell or to sell and make money, or to sell a story, to share a story. So if your end goal is making money, you want to create controversy, and you talk trash, you create beef, and hopefully it generates money, cash or eyeball. That's just my opinion. And a lot of the art is lost. There's no longer, it's not about quality. It's more like, who can I piss off? That's just my opinion.
I agree. Matt Sisko agrees too. He says the only way to sell trash is controversy.
Right.
And then Historical Physics Guild said, and I agree, this has the Marvel generate a scandal for viewers' ploys. I think
exactly.
Which I will say though, it's short-sighted. I think it's short-term like sales boost. Very much almost like how DC and Marvel keeps doing the whole like let's reboot to number ones. It's short sell gains. Because if you look at like BuzzFeed, Vice, stuff like that, those sites are failing. And in fact are going like bankrupt because hate clicks only get you so far, but you don't actually build long-term readers. You just kind of build like those little short dopamines, like, oh yeah, my bias is confirmed. I got my justification of my ideals, but you're not actually building long-term readers. And in fact, you drive away long-term readers.
I think that's
I feel like
true.
This will lead to worse sales later on. Like maybe the hate and stuff will give a slight boost, but then people go, okay, well, this writer this is what he does. It's blah, 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 whatever. I don't care.
Frog G says this makes them even less likely to consider buying Marvel or DC comics, which is a shame because, that's what Marvel and DC got me into the game, We got Pops in the chat, says, hail all, dropping the love. Nice to see you today.
Hey, Pop.
Yeah. And then Historical Fencing Guild, this is Modern Cap, which since the Hail Hydra incident ran me off for Marvel products, has gotten none of my money. They want to break continuity, and it's similar to when DC made Superman grimdark. Exactly. This is why are you doing those things? It's because I think they just want to upset the fanboy.
See, that's the thing. But you guys are all thinking about this in the wrong way. It's no longer, you're thinking about it in an old school way of controversy makes sales, but they don't care about that anymore. And they've said it. They've actually said, we don't do this anymore to make money. We do it for the platform and the message we can get out. We don't care about selling books. So you can actually, if you look at it from their point of view, from that's exactly what they're doing. They're putting their message, which is, anybody who disagrees with what they say is a Nazi, is a whatever name they want to call you. And they don't care about if the books sell. And you can look at Marvel and DC, and that's proving it because those places are going down faster than the Titanic.
You know what you can do though? you can take that money that you're like, man, I don't know if I want to buy a cat, and instead you can go to Kickstarter and be like, yo, that excited #1, I can get 146 pages for $10 digitally. What up? And just throw it on that. Back my boy Michael's Kickstarter. And that's how you segue, Michael.
That's the great thing about
I
capitalism.
think it's a perfect time for and again, here's the thing, and I think that's going to be a theme. It's been themed the last this is the 4th episode of this show for the last month, and it's going to continue to be a theme, I think, is that independent comics are definitely the future for us. I think independent comics are where things are going, because people who actually care about the stories, care about the characters, they care about the value of what's being taught to the readers and what's being expressed. It's perfectly fine for you to express your political view inside of a comic book. I don't have a problem with that. My problem is when you try to take a positive role model and spin them into a negative role model with people through just lies and things like that. Like I said, I'm not really a fan of Jordon Peterson. I'm not watching his stuff. I'm not reading his books, but he's not a dangerous individual, and his ideology isn't dangerous either. I think, young men should take more responsibility, and they should stand up more and be role models in their communities. I think that's absolutely 100% on the mark there. I personally don't make my bed all the time, but
I didn't even know who Peterson was till today, but I knew who Coates was.
Yeah, I barely knew.
He has an amazing video talking about like Peter Pan on YouTube.
Yeah.
It's like 5 minutes.
I'll have to check that out.
Yeah.
So, if you said Lil Nas X.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
I was just going to say, if you want to see like somebody who's a really good YouTuber, if you know Young Ripa, he even did a video about Coates.
Yeah.
About him getting hired to write Superman, and he's like, this guy's a talentless hack.
Yeah.
And he does a great video about him too.
Yeah, definitely check out Young Ripa. I like him a lot. So Ikthu says Lil Nas X and marketing team behind him just shows how dangerous Hollywood is. Going after the youth. He even says the reason he's successful is because of kids. And yeah, that is very, very dangerous, I think.
The brainwashing of the youth.
It scares me. It really does. Fitz Factor has to head out. See you guys. See you, man. Have a good one. Thanks for coming and taking a break with us. We'll be wrapping up here soon, I think. But it's been fun hanging out with you.
I like his icon.
Yeah, it's a great icon. Wolf says their goal is neither of those things, unfortunately. Yeah, I think it's I think their goal is just to screw with things, just to screw with stuff,
just to ruin everything, so no one has any entertainment.
Yeah. Nick says he hadn't read any of it since the Hail Hydra thing, and you know what? And I'll be honest with you, that just wow, when that happened, it was controversial. I wasn't happy about it, but it was just kind of like a whole.
There's a rule of, or there used to be a rule of, with Marvel and DC, they're not your toys. You get to play with them, and you can like put them in different scenarios, but at the end of the day, it's still not your toy. You have to put it back where you found it,
right? And
you can't break it.
Yeah.
kind of put it back with like an arm missing, and went, yeah, toy's a little bit broken. It's okay.
I kind of feel like they broke like that. Like they've put those rules aside, and they definitely put the toys back broken. They've painted them with nail polish. They've burnt pieces of them. It's like it's sometimes it's unrecognizable, and I think it could be a problem.
You know what could be
says good story equals returning customers.
That is true. You know what is recognizable or could be? all the stories on Excited #1 on Kickstarter.
Yep.
You know what? I like
10
that. I
bucks.
agree with that 100%.
Yeah. Frog G says hi, Wolverine. Hi, Frog G. People talking back and forth in there. Frog G says, let them starve then if that's not what they're there for. Nick says, I just wanted comics to tell a story, inspire, and elevate. That is why I support indie comics, because that's what they do, right?
Yep.
Even when I don't agree with the content, I still respect the courage and individuality it takes. And that's absolutely true. And he also continues to say, where kids are involved, it's up in art to the parents to pay attention and know what is going on. And I totally agree, which is why my son doesn't read mainstream comics anymore.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. See, that's the issue is like, I agree, but there's also some things where like family members, like unless the parent is a comic fan, right? And like, let's just say the kid's a comic fan and like you have someone not like me where the comic shop's actually closed. They're like, all right, well, I know these characters. I may not, have read them. There's a certain family trust to it, which unfortunately right now is actually kind of misleading.
Let's talk about that for a second, because that's absolutely true. And then we'll get to Matt's comment there. He's just echoing Todd, telling Todd he's right. And everyone knows Todd's right. So it is unfortunate because we do look at these characters as being wholesome characters of value. When you watch the movies, you expect to see. I just recently watched the Snyder Cut, and if the Snyder Cut was my first encounter with those DC characters, then I would not buy the comics. Quite honestly, it was a good movie, but when you've got Batman saying "I will effing kill you." No, that's not Batman. As much as an adult, I was like, "Yeah, tell him, Batman." No, that's not Batman, and that's not a Batman I'm going to let my 11-year-old son read. But that's not.
Well, didn't Wonder Woman kill people in it too?
All day long. Yeah, like
those are not the DC characters. That's why he didn't know what he was doing with them, and that's why people were mad. It's like people do movies that are comic book characters that have no idea what those comic book characters are, and they've never read a comic book in their life.
Yeah, very, very true. But what to Justin's point is that people think that you should be able to trust those characters, because I grew up with those characters and they were safe for reading, and but of course, I grew up during the Comics Code Authority, mostly during the 80s, and then the 90s when it kind of went away. It evolved with me as a teenager. And the problem is we've evolved those characters to where they fit us as adults. I'm a 40-year-old male, and so now like a lot of those characters have evolved there. And then other people who have this kind of activist mindset have kind of taken over the characters. But you can't go to the store now. And I feel like, I don't feel like you can go to the store and find the version of Batman and Spider-Man and Superman and the Captain America that reflects the version that we read as kids. It's been somehow spoiled and tainted by cynical adults, I think is what it is. And for me, what I would like to see is for characters to get back to that so that kids can have something to look up to. And maybe I'm just being silly. Maybe I'm naive thinking that. Maybe that's just, wishful thinking, but that's what I would like to see happen.
What's your thoughts, Michael?
You know what? That's going to be up to the indie creators, because in my opinion, a lot of the bigger corporations such as Marvel and DC, they're owned by Disney and Warner, AT&T and whatnot. And, I believe they have an agenda to destroy America through, inciting division. And you do that a variety of ways with news, with media, with Little Nas, you know what I mean? You're promoting a lot of stuff that's, you can say dark. You can say that can lead kids towards a certain direction. It's back in the days when we grew up. You're looking at the '80s movies. You're talking about these action heroes. They had some moral, some character, some value that they were teaching. Now it's just entertainment, and they're teaching the exact opposite. They want to promote hate, division, and selfishness. You don't see a lot of characters sacrificing oneself. I was in the Army, so we were taught, to you take care of the guys to your left and your right, because they will take care of you when you need it. But you do it because you care about one another. You care about your country and whatnot. Now today, a lot in the media, it's more about, we want the money, you want the big contract, you want all the cars, all the nice cars, and the pretty ladies. It's superficial. That's what I'm getting at.
It really is. And Nick makes another great point. He says, it's a process going on.
Yep.
You see Doctor Who, Star Wars, etc. Canon is getting sacrificed for agenda. It sometimes has tragic values. And let's be really clear. Nick and I are on different sides of the aisle politically, but we are in unison when it comes to the political agendas that are being inserted into our entertainment. It's like, why does it have to be there? Why does it have to be the case? And you
want to just be entertained.
Yeah, right. He says superheroes are supposed to be better than us. That is what makes them super. That at the end of the day, they refrain from just using the power of permanently ending conflicts. When Superman is like, I don't kill, when Batman's like, I don't kill, when it's, I just introduced my son last night to Short Circuit, Johnny number 5, right?
Yeah. Johnny 5.
Yeah. And he goes, no disassemble, Johnny 5 alive, we're laughing at it, but here was a robot that was teaching me the value as a kid, of life, Here's an artificial intelligence, something that doesn't have blood running through its veins. It's a robot, but that life is more than just a pulse, that life is an intellect and it's a thought pattern and it's that it has value and that you don't just disassemble, and that sometimes they're trying to fix Johnny 5. And the whole idea is like, well, he's not broken. He doesn't need to be fixed. There's so many things that stupid movie could teach a person, but that was what we grew up with. Right.
But to the military in that movie, he was broken because he wasn't a mindless robot doing what they told him.
Very true. Yeah, the Punisher is supposed to be the absolute extreme, not a moral baseline, and that is very true. That was the whole point of the Punisher, is to be this okay, yeah, he gets the job done, but we don't really advocate for that. Matt says he's got to go. Good luck on the book, Michael. We're definitely wishing Michael some luck. We've got one more comment here to read, and then we'll move on and talk a little bit about your book before we hang up for tonight. So it says, sorry about the typos. My autocorrect is not helping. And that is all right, Nick. We get the heart and the intent behind what you're saying, and there's no judgment here. I guess our only judgment is on poor writing is the thing, because we love comic books. Comic books are great. We want more comic books in our life. And so we have a way that we can do that. It's called Excited Number 1. It is live on Kickstarter right now. You can go over there, and for $10, you can access 148 pages of passionate comic book creation. People who love comics, who have read comics their whole life, who really know what a comic is, and who want to break into the scene writing comics that you can enjoy. Not the cool kid who gets offered the job just because they have a point to make. We're talking about like really passionate comic book creators. And so I'm going to share Justin's screen one more time. And we're going to put this up here. I want to go over the perks and the levels at which people can get involved, Michael. I really do.
Boom. I can do that.
So, and then before we go, Michael, I want you to tell everybody where they can find you, where they can follow you on social media and things like that too. So,
Awesome.
Justin, what you doing, man?
What are you doing?
I'm waiting for you to share that screen.
Oh man, I'm sorry, I forgot the button.
He's like,
I moved over. I was all the way in.
I don't know. What are you doing?
I still don't see the screen. Have you shared it yet?
Boom.
There it is.
Button.
Oh, there we go. Look at that. Okay, so we're not going to play the video again, but we saw some great art in the video. But we have $157 of a $1,000 goal, which is completely doable.
Yes.
54 days to get this done. Go ahead and show. Let's look at some of those perks that's down there.
Yeah. Like $2, you can get 48 pages of it.
I mean, come on. Let's just talk about that for a second. 48 pages of a digital comic book. Usually a digital book is about 32 self-covers. So most of the books are self-covers. So you're going to get the cover and the ads and everything like that in there as well. But you're getting 48 pages of story, correct?
Right, right.
Okay. So it is a $2 book for 48 pages of content. You're paying 4 cents a page. That is a better value than you're going to find anywhere. That is tremendous. How much is it for the 148 pages?
It's you do have an option. So what we did was we give the supporters the option to pay $10 or $12 for the 148 pages.
Okay.
If you want to support the creators, you could give a little more, but you do have an option to pay the standard $10 for 148 pages, which is it's a bargain.
Yeah, if you go up to the $12, here's what you're doing. You're paying 8 cents a page.
Right.
Wow.
I mean, that's crazy. 8 cents a page towards the dreams of an aspiring creator, and trust me, I know what it's like to be there. I'm launching book 7 now. But I remember what it was like to launch book 1, like that desire to just have something out and for people to be able to read what I was doing and enjoy it. And so for 8 cents a page, you're able to do that for someone, but it's not just what you're doing for someone else. It's what you're doing for yourself. You're getting the opportunity to get on the ground floor of somebody's career that could be absolutely tremendous for you. You might find your new favorite character. You might find your new favorite writer or your new favorite artist. This is an opportunity for $12 investment. You can actually get in there and kind of taste, if you will, what is available in the indie world. And these are guys that have had a hard time breaking out, trying to get. This is a great opportunity for them to be able to be seen and for you to see them. I just think it's a no-brainer.
You can get a T-shirt.
How many dollars?
15.
15. It's not bad. I mean,
for a T-shirt,
plus shipping, of course, but it's a good deal.
Yeah, these are great values, and I think that you should definitely. I know if you're watching, if you're one of the people that are watching this in playback, and maybe you say, "Hey, I don't normally do Kickstarter. I don't, that's not my thing." Maybe go over and check it out just to support this book. I encourage you, because there's a few things that I run that's on Kickstarter only. So I would even encourage you to go over there and just check it out. There are some good creators, some people that have a lot of passion that are working on that platform. And it's not about politics or agenda or anything with them. It's just the platform they're used to. And so I do encourage you to go over there and check that out. But now for the next few seconds, what I would want to do is let's go ahead and just give I want to give the floor to Michael.
Hey guys, go ahead.
I just want to give the floor to you. Let people know where they can find you. Anything else that you would like them to know about you or the campaign. The time is yours, brother.
Okay, awesome. First, I want to thank you guys for having me on here. And there's a couple points I want to make clear about the Kickstarter. You do have the option to get the actual printed product, which is an ash can. It's a collectible item. And also, there's different tiers. You can get 48 pages, 96 pages, or even 148 pages, and it's affordable. It's $2, $4, $6, 10 and 12. So, but a lot of the creators there are passionate, and they love the craft, and they're here to share their dreams. And with an investment of $10, you can help launch a new universe. So, I mean, I think that's pretty amazing. You can find me on Facebook under Michael Oeur, and you can look up Excited Studios. We're on there also. And if you're on Kickstarter, just search for Excited #1, and it'll take you right to the page.
Thank you so much for being on tonight and sharing. Thanks so much for your contributions to our country and to the comic world, man. I appreciate both of those very, very much.
Yeah,
everybody check out Michael's work. Be sure to go by and follow that link and support that Kickstarter. And Todd, go ahead and let people know where they can find you.
On Twitter, at Truth Todd, and on YouTube at Todd's Truth.
There you go. Justin?
You can find me on Twitter at Justin Dutton 18. You can find me here at Luke Stone Studios on Take a Break every Tuesday night at 8 p.m. Eastern. That's how you plug in the YouTube.
Plug in the YouTube, yep. You can find, yeah.
And you can find me on Facebook if you look up my name.
Yeah, Justin Dutton. Dragon, as I like to call him.
Yep.
Yeah.
Lord George Nighthawk.
Yeah, so you can find me at lukestonestudios.com. My social media links are up there. I'm getting ready to edit that tonight, so you can also have the sign up for issue 7 of Hybrids, the Sons of Gods. That will be part 2 of the Killing Field. Along with that, you can get the quick play version of the role-playing game, which Nick Tockard has been developing and is absolutely wonderful. And you can also get the limited run of the remaster for issue 1 under Arrow Comics. So it's going to be just this big thing of comic goodness that you can get in there, So all kinds of opportunity to get a lot of things with that particular campaign. So you can sign up for that mailing list. We're not exactly sure when we're launching yet, but we will be launching soon. Right now, starting over on Indie Volt Radio, we've got Varian Grant and his crew. So be sure to go over there, check that out. That's not your speed. You want to check out another guy named Brian K. Morris at the Rising Tide Network. He's getting ready to go live. He went live at 8:00 the same time we did, and he's got about another hour of broadcasting left to go for Clever Title Pending. You should definitely check that out. Anybody else got any YouTubers or podcasters you might want to plug before we head out?
Yeah, Critical Blast right now is live. With the creator of a book called The Last Homicide with Frank Martin. That also looks like it's a Kickstarter book. So if want to go check out that, Critical Blast, boom. And I hope everyone has a good night.
Yep, absolutely. And don't forget to check out Todd's YouTube channel too. All right, everybody, I'm going to play the bumper. We're going to go out. And so tell everybody goodbye. Have a good night, guys.
Bye.